So men who internalize red pill awareness and improve their attractiveness often shift from relying on transactional sex to eliciting validation sex. You basically start working on yourself, start working on your attractiveness. We say in the space, be attractive, don't be unattractive, right? The be attractive part is hard for a lot of guys because 75% of you guys out there are overweight and obese. So the biggest thing that you can do is start hitting the gym and start losing that weight and start, building some muscle definition and start becoming physically attractive again, right? The best form of peacocking is being in good shape because whatever you wear is going to look good, especially if you're wearing form-fitting clothes. A lot of you guys out there like dress terribly too. You guys dress like one size too big because you're dressing for comfort. You like the baggy clothes and you look awful. You look like a hobo, right? So go and get clothes that fit you better, get in better shape, and you're going to notice that your wife's going to start finding you physically attractive again. That's like a big thing, right? And then your don't be unattractive is your personality, your demeanor, right? This is where frame and game comes in, right? Because if you have good frame, you're not affected by her emotions. You're not getting into arguments, stupid ass arguments with her, and she starts entering your frame because you're now leading from a position of authority in the relationship, and she starts looking at you as her best hypergamous option again, both for the alpha fucks and beta bucks side of hypergamy. She's going to start wanting to have sex with you again, right? That's where the validation stuff's going to start coming in, right? You're going to start building up that genuine attraction again. So sexual dynamics in dead bedrooms is another concept here in his article. So in sexless marriages or relationships, men often try to solve the issue by negotiating or sacrificing more, right? If I just do more for her, if I just, if I clean the gutters more, she's going to want to have sex with me, right? So this is where like love languages come in. This is where marriage counselors will say, have you tried, what's her love language? Try speaking to her in her love language. Well, guys are trying to negotiate that desire back, right? Okay, if I just do this thing, I'm going to get sex, right? That's a covert contract, right? If I do this, she's going to do this. That's a covert contract. And then when she doesn't, you build that resentment up. You understand? And then scarcity versus abundance mindset in sexuality. So I was alluding to this before, but blue pill men operate in a scarcity mindset, believing that sex is something to be earned through provisioning. Like if I'm a good provider, I've earned the sex now. So the duty sex is her obligation to me and I should accept that, right? Terrible, terrible. Whereas red pill men adopt an abundance mindset, positioning themselves as the prize. So one of the things that I tell guys is that in order for your wife to view you as the prize, right, you have to become the prize. You have to be a guy that she wants to be around. You have to be the guy that she wants to have sex with. You can't just sit around telling yourself that you're the prize and then do nothing, because you being a fat ass that just watches football all the time and plays video games and then, but you're telling yourself you're the prize, like you're not really being a prize type guy. You're not being the attractive guy that she needs. So when you understand that, you understand like how hypergamy works, you understand how attraction works. Now you can like make yourself that guy. You can make yourself a guy who's naturally attractive to women that other people want to be around. A lot of this is like working on your social skills. A lot of you guys get to a place where you don't have any friends anymore. You basically cut out all your friends and you stop being social, and your wife is the sole person in your life. Like, yeah, you have your coworkers, but you don't hang out with them after work, right? You hang out. Those are forced friends. Like you have to hang out with them and you talk to them, but you talk to them about work type shit. Right. And then you come home, and then your wife is your sole sort of outside the office person you talk to. And then she doesn't even want to hang around with you because you're boring now. So you got to work out these social skills. That's a part of game. Game is basically being good with being a social person, being someone that other people want to be around. They like you. You have some charisma. You're a fun person to be around. So if you can get back to that, be that kind of guy who has good frame, good game, work on your muscles, like you're gonna be more of a naturally attractive guy that she likes to be around. I'll tell you a quick story here. Back when I was married, uh, I when I got out of the Navy, I used to do door to door office supply sales. And when I did door to door office supply sales, I had to be a very outgoing person. I had to every morning we'd get up and we'd go to the office and do this big rah rah, getting state type, meeting. And then you would go out and spend eight to nine, maybe even 10 hours just walking all day, and you're knocking on doors, and you have to, in order to do door-to-door office supply sales, you have to get people to like you quickly. So there's all these techniques that they have you do, but they all just make you more of an outgoing natural guy that people like, you know and so as I was doing that, one, I was getting in really good shape because I was walking all the time. And then two, I was a very outgoing person. And at that time, my now ex-wife, man, she loved it. She loved it because I would go out to places and I would just talk to people, and people responded really well to me. And I was very high energy. I was fun to be around. She loved that. Right. And then I got into IT and I was working at help desk. Let me tell you, you will learn to hate humanity when you work tech support or help desk, because you're taking calls from people who are pissed off, right? No one calls help desk or tech support when they're having a good day. They call because nothing's working right and it's your fault, right? And so you got certain people that call and they are absolute assholes when they call tech support or customer service or whatever. And so I got to a place where I hated humanity, man. I didn't want to talk to people. People would get into an elevator with me, and I would size them up and go, I bet you're an asshole when you call help desk. I'm thinking this in my head. Well, that sort of energy, that negative energy rubs off, and people sense that. And no one wants to be around a negative person. You understand? So that point in my life really started killing attraction in my marriage, because I was a fucking negative guy. I hated everybody. I didn't want to hang out with people. She was always a social butterfly, and she would want to go to parties and stuff like that. And I was like, no, I don't want to hang out with people, And so I was like a homebody, and I was miserable. Like, who wants to be around that? You know what I mean? And so getting back, into like learning, dating, and all that kind of stuff, and understanding sexual dynamics more on this journey since Red Pill Chick, I realized, wow, that I could see exactly why that attraction started to erode, because I was being someone that even like that most people just wouldn't want to hang around with, let alone my wife. And so then I learned that in order to get women out in the dating circuit, you have to be more like the door-to-door office supply guy. You have to be more outgoing. You have to be social. You have to be a fun guy that other people want to be around. Well, that carries over into your relationship. Once you get into this long-term relationship, you have to be that guy, or else the attraction's going to fade, right? It's not normal, you know? I mean, it's normal if you let it, but if you're always aware of it and you're always like being that outgoing guy, you're always working on your muscles, money, game, and frame, right? The core four, shout out to MLD. Like, you're going to be that attractive guy that she wants to be around. You understand? All right. You're like, but Paul, I don't know. I don't know how to do that. Well, I'll tell you what, if that's you, if you don't know how to do that, if you don't know how to be that attractive guy that other people want to be around, especially your wife, that's what I will help you do. So book a free call with me, call.fixdeadbedrooms.com, and let's work together on that, right? I've got a whole plan to start turning this dynamic in your relationship around. But most of you guys are happy with the duty sex until she drops that divorce brick in your lap. And then it's like, oh, fuck, I don't know what happened, man. Well, you could have prevented it by doing a little bit of work and having some fun with this stuff, right? All right. So that brings me to basically the psychological impact of allowing this duty sex stuff to happen. What's what's Nurse Chick say? She says, octopus to the face 4 years later. Yes, Nurse Chick she wants to crawl into my skin. When we sit on the couch, Nurse Chick sits right next to me, and she like crosses her legs over me, and she basically has to be all up in my business. And I fucking love it. I love it. And I don't ever want her to stop doing that. And then I touch her legs. I kiss her and stuff like that. Periodically, I'll I'll just bang her on the couch. Like, you have to. You got, I got to keep her guessing too. I can't do it every night. Otherwise that becomes routine, you see. I take her out on dates. I'm like, hey, let's go out. Hey, grab your shoes. We're going out tonight. I do that kind of stuff just to keep her guessing. And then this guy says, be Chad or don't get married. Well, I would say, AKA don't get married. Just don't. If you aren't 100% sure, just don't. I would say this, right? Yeah, I agree with that. It doesn't make any sense for men to get married. It doesn't make any sense for men to get the government involved in your relationship. But guess what, Base Baz? Some people didn't get that memo and they're already married. So what now? What now? Well, how about be a Chad in your marriage? How about that? Game your wife. You just have to bang her on the couch sometimes. Yes, agree. Yeah, see, couch sex is my fave. One time, Nurse Chick's gonna blush talk about this. Sometimes Nurse Chick is at her office and she's listening to the podcast, and her one of her coworkers is there listening. And I'm telling these stories, and her coworker looks over at her because they know she's Nurse Chick, and they go, "Oh, really?" I love it. Anyway, one time I get this grand idea, right? Because Nurse Chick and I both have motorcycles, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm gonna fuck you on the motorcycle. Like, get out there." So I get her to lean back on the motorcycle, and we gave it the old college try. It's not as exciting as you would think it is, and so we ended up going back to the bedroom because it just wasn't working out well. But you gotta try some things out every once in a while. You gotta go try to bang your girl on a motorcycle every once in a while. You know what I mean?
New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Subscribe now.